Ooh, right, so I've been on YouTube for around 4 years now, and in that time I've made over 350 videos, spent thousands and thousands of hours doing this filming, editing thing, and in that time I've even had 118 marriage proposals via email. It's been a really fun and rewarding and meaningful journey so far, so thank you guys for supporting the channel and for being subscribers and stuff. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. But in this video, I want to share 9 life lessons that I've learned over the past 4 years of being a YouTuber, and these aren't lessons that are specific to if you want to be a YouTuber, although I think you should. These are just generally some good, like, personal development-y, life advice-y things that I've taken from this journey so far, so let's get into it. All right, lesson number 1 is that haters are surprisingly uncommon. When most people think about the idea of starting a YouTube channel, they think, oh my God, what about all the hate comments? And the thing that I realized pretty quickly is that there are very, very few hate comments overall. In general, most people are nice, most people are friendly, most people have good intentions most of the time. And yes, occasionally you'll get the odd hate comment and it's kind of funny when you do, but for the most part, 99.99% of comments are like really, really nice. And I think this is actually a good way to live life generally. A lot of us have this thing whereby we see other humans with a little bit of suspicion and we think that, oh, this person's out to get me, that person's bad, this person's mean. But actually, if we really think about it, most people have good intentions most of the time. Most people are nice. It's all good. The world is a happy and nice place. And yes, some bad things happen. You shouldn't let that from stopping you from trusting people generally and sort of being open and vulnerable and all that kind of stuff. And certainly for me, if I hadn't made a YouTube channel because I was worried about the hate comments, my life would be looking very differently right now. And this is the same for every single other YouTuber friend that I have. We're all worried about hate comments initially and we realize this is actually not a huge deal. General life advice across the board. Second piece of important life advice that I've learned from being on YouTube is, for the most part, no one actually cares. Before starting YouTube, I was really worried, like, what are my friends and family and stuff gonna think? And very quickly, as I started making YouTube videos, I realized no one actually cares. Like, all these people who I thought were going to criticize me for having a YouTube channel and for having the audacity to put myself out there in public, none of these people cared. They were all worried about their own lives. They're all doing their own thing. And so I spent so much time thinking, oh, what are these people gonna think? And I realized that they're just not thinking about me at all. Everyone's worried about their own life. Everyone is worried about their own stuff. And again, to abstract this away from YouTube into general life advice, there are so many domains in life in which you and I, we stop ourselves from doing something because we're worried about what people will think. But if we just did the thing, we'd realize that for the most part, no one actually cares. You're probably not going around judging people around you, and if you are, you need to stop it. But for the most part, no one cares. It's all good. You can take risks, you can do things because you're the only one that really cares about yourself. Life lesson number 3 from being a YouTuber is that when you give people value for free, then really good things will happen. And this is sort of what the whole model of YouTube is based around. It's based around people sitting down in front of their cameras and making videos, sometimes for years on end, without getting any money or anything like that. These days, you have to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. That's quite hard. It takes ages to get to 1,000 subscribers. It took me 6 months and 52 videos to get to 1,000 subscribers. Before that point, every single thing I was doing was providing value for free to people on the internet. And if you're struggling to put yourself out there, if you're struggling to make your business succeed, if you're struggling to, to be an entrepreneur, you're probably thinking about it as like, you have to be paid for the value that you provide. And yes, you probably should. And in a dream world, all of us would be paid for the value that we provide. But to be honest, the people who are desperate to make money from providing value are probably also the people who are thinking, I would never pay for an iPhone app. Why would I do that? Everything on the internet should be free. And so the life lesson here is that when you give value to people for free, really, really good things happen. That's the entire model of YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. You've got to give value for free. And afterwards, you can worry about the monetization side of things. Life lesson number 4 from being a YouTuber is that what is obvious to you can be amazing to others. And I first learned this from my now friend, Derek Sivers, who wrote this amazing book, Hell Yeah or No, What's Worth Doing. And the main insight here is that, like, often when I make YouTube videos, I feel like the stuff that I'm talking about is just really, really obvious. And this is just it's the curse of knowledge, as C.S. Lewis calls it. The stuff that we take for granted, the stuff that we know, we kind of don't realize that there are some people out there who don't know the thing. And so often what holds people back when starting a YouTube channel or a blog, a website, Twitter, Instagram, putting yourself out there in any capacity, often what holds people back is this idea that my thing is not valuable enough because it's really obvious. Other people already know this. But you don't realize that actually most people don't know the thing that you know. And so if you find a way to teach it to them or to provide them value, preferably for free, then people will latch onto that because it's a new and novel and interesting thing. So overall, what's obvious to you can be absolutely amazing to others. Life lesson number 5 from being a YouTuber is that everything, absolutely everything, is figure-outable. When I started on YouTube 4 years ago, I had no idea what a camera was. I didn't know what shutter speed or ISO or aperture meant. I did not know how to edit videos. I did not know anything about sound design, about microphones, about background music. I just learned all of that stuff by following free YouTube tutorials tutorials and just sort of figuring it out based on Google and YouTube and other YouTubers and, you know, classes on Skillshare and that kind of thing. And again, there are so many people I know who stop themselves from starting a YouTube channel or a website or a business because they're thinking, oh, I don't know how to do this thing. But it's like, it's not, I don't know how to do this thing. It's, I don't know how to do this thing yet, but I can figure it out because I can go on the internet and just learn the thing, because you can learn absolutely anything on the internet. And this is something that really, being a YouTuber over the last 4 years, has helped me realize and fully internalize. Like, I cannot imagine ever being in a situation now where I feel, oh my God, I don't know how to do this thing, therefore I won't do it. I'm always gonna think to myself, I don't know how to do this thing yet. I will figure it out. And if I'm good enough having figured it out, then I will do the thing. So that's another life lesson for you. Life lesson number 6 is that you don't need to be an expert. Often, again, we hold ourselves back by thinking we have to be experts, we have to be qualified, we have to be a guru in the thing that we're talking about in order for other people to listen to us. But what I've learned from being on YouTube for the last 4 years and actually being a medical educator as well and teaching medical students and stuff is that often the people who are the best at teaching us are the people who are just one step ahead of us in the journey. Like if I'm having a medical tutorial from someone, I actually learn much better if they're just 1 year ahead of me, because they will really appreciate my beginner position. They'll really appreciate where I'm coming from. Whereas if I have a lecture from a professor who's been doing it for 50 years, chances are they're a little bit out of touch. They don't really know what's going through my head, what my struggles are. And so I will learn from someone who is a guide rather than a guru. And so whatever you're trying to do, don't feel like you need to achieve a qualification to do it. Obviously, you know, don't be a brain surgeon unless you've got the qualification and the training. But for the most part, for things that aren't life and death, you can figure it out. Everything is figure outable, and you don't need to be an expert to teach or to talk about the thing that you want to talk about. All right, life advice-y tip number 7 from being a YouTuber. For this one, I'm actually going to cut to an excerpt of my very first vlog on this channel. They say that whenever you're starting on YouTube, your first 50 videos are going to be terrible. So I'm kind of hoping that over the next year, I'll make my 50 terrible videos, and then when we hit August the 1st, 2018, when life as a junior doctor starts, and then I'd be able to kind of hit the ground running and be able to actually film decent vlogs. So that was me from 2017 saying that my first 50 videos were going to be terrible. And I think, again, this doesn't just apply to YouTube. This applies to basically everything that we're ever gonna do, where, you know, there is that very sort of painful process at the start where we're on the steep bit of the learning curve where the thing that we're doing is not going to be very good. I started to try and learn art recently and become a concept artist, and my artwork is absolutely terrible. It's really bad. And I know that my first 50, 100, 500, 1,000 things are going to be terrible, but I know that the process of doing them and producing this quantity is ultimately going to make me improve and ultimately going to lead to quality. Life lesson number 8 from being a YouTuber is the power of bringing others along with you for the journey, the power of asking for help. Now, you know, at the moment, I've got a team of 8 people who help run this YouTube business and the channel and the courses and everything else. And that's like one level of working with other people. But actually, a lot sooner than you can hire people, you can actually ask your friends for help. So especially with my videos early on, often I asked my friends who were around me at university to be my cameraman or camera women, or to, you know, give me some ideas for content or for titles or for thumbnails. And these guys and girls were very happy to get involved, and it was kind of cool that, oh, Ali's making YouTube videos, it's probably gonna fail. Oh, isn't it kind of cute that he's like, you know, screwing his medical exams while making YouTube videos? But they were still keen to help with the idea generation and things. And I think, again, generally outside of YouTube and for life overall, if we can ask the people around us for help for doing a thing, then often they're just very happy to oblige. We don't need to try and do everything ourselves. And life lesson number 9 that I've learned from being a YouTuber is to really remember to have fun and to enjoy the journey. If there's one thing I've learned about productivity and like success and stuff generally over the last like 5 years, it's that productivity and success isn't really about doing more things. It's about doing more of what matters to us and choosing, or rather learning, to have fun along the way. As Miley Cyrus says, ain't about how fast I get there, ain't about what's waiting on the other side, it's the climb. Brandon Sanderson says journey before destination. And I think that really embodies everything that I've learned from YouTube over the last 4 years. It really is a journey before destination. Again, taking this outside the realm of YouTube, whatever you're focusing on, whatever you're working on, if you're fixated on the destination, you're actually probably unlikely to get there, because like really it's the journey where the progress happens. And if you're not enjoying the journey, then either A, you won't actually do it because it's not enjoyable, or B, you'll hate the journey, you'll get to the destination and you'll realize that that destination was not actually the thing that you were seeking, and really it's all about the journey overall. So it sounds a bit hippie overall, but really remember to have fun with whatever it is you're doing, remember to have fun and remember to enjoy the journey. Now this video was actually meant to be 14 life lessons rather than 9 because I've got plenty more to talk about, but I realized this video was getting a little bit too long and that's not very good for the YouTube algorithm. And so instead, the other 5 life lessons you can find in the extended version of this video, which is available over at Nebula. If you haven't heard, Nebula is an independent streaming platform that's built by me and a bunch of other creators that you might be familiar with, Thomas Frank and Tom Scott and Wendover Productions and Legal Eagle and Lindsay Ellis. And the idea behind Nebula is that it gives us a place to put material that wouldn't necessarily work on YouTube. For example, half an hour long video about 14 life lessons from being on YouTube over the last 4 years. On Nebula, you'll also get early access to all of my videos completely ad-free, and so this ad gets taken out of this video and replaced with the other 5 life lessons. And you'll also find a bunch of Nebula exclusives like my workflow series where I take you through my workflow for using productivity apps like Notion and Roam. The best way to get access to Nebula is to sign up to CuriosityStream, who are very kindly sponsoring this video. Now, CuriosityStream is the world's leading documentary streaming subscription platform. They've got thousands of really high budget, high quality documentaries that you can choose from. And there's one series in particular that I really enjoyed, which is all about human performance and how we can maximize our kind of potential by doing interesting things with our brain. But the really cool thing about CuriosityStream is that they support independent creators, and so they've got a bundle deal with Nebula, which means that if you sign up for CuriosityStream, which is less than $15 for the whole year, you get free access to Nebula bundled with that. So for less than $15 a year, you get thousands of high quality, high budget documentaries on CuriosityStream, and also a ton of really good exclusive stuff along with the extended edition of this video over at Nebula. If that sounds good and you want to check it out, then head over to curiositystream.com/Ali and sign up for your account, and then you'll get your Nebula details emailed to you. So thank you, CuriosityStream, for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching. If you'd like to check out more life lessons from me, then click the video over here. This is my top 10 tips for aspiring YouTubers that lots of people have found helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.